Hey guys, another wonderful day at the Roy Durham Show. Today's topic is going to be why assassinating Donald Trump is a moot point. Disclaimer, I do not advocate assassinating the President of the United States. And this video is basically a response to all the idiots out here, all of the idiots in the mainstream media, all the idiots in the pop culture, the superstars, the rock stars, all the crazy college kids out there. This goes out to you people. You guys are idiots. You don't know what you're talking about, you don't see the big picture, and you don't understand. And I'm here today to explain to you why you don't understand and why an assassination plot, even if it were successful, would be a moot point. Now, this entire thing that I'm going on about is somewhat dependent on a timeline that Donald Trump is still in power on a 5-month basis. So basically, if this guy exists for 5 months, don't even bother, dude. It's not going to make a difference whatsoever. You're done. Don't even try. Even right now, if it was done, it wouldn't change the grand course of things all that much. And there are a lot of good reasons for that. Let's just look at Donald Trump, the guy himself first, okay? So Donald Trump is this guy with this crazy vision and has this a list of these insanely awesome talents, and I would say that his best talent, out of all the talents he has, is finding the best people, period. This guy is a nexus point. He is the coming together. He is the round table of all the knights at the round table. This guy is where everyone who is any value will gravitate to. This guy has the talent for finding, hunting down, and seeking the best people. I don't know if you've ever played this video game called Mass Effect before, but in Mass Effect, you're the main character in this story, and you're this guy who's trying to build the ideal team to run a suicide mission, and, just save the entire universe. This is Donald Trump in a nutshell, or how he kind of views himself at the very least. Donald Trump is on a mission to make America great again. He is on this personal drive to create a world where he feels that these values and these things that he's going to be putting in place is going to make an idealistic world. This is his drive, that's his motivation, and his skill set is assembling the A-team. That's his skill set. In fact, let's look at some of the people he's already assembled already. Steve Bannon. This guy's a grand visionary. Let's say Donald Trump did die, okay? Let's say someone did take his life. Steve Bannon is still there, okay? This guy's a visionary. He is the guy who is going to determine what we're going to be talking about for the next 8 years at minimum. Okay, this guy, he is a genius when it comes to framing the conversation, when it comes to media correspondence. This guy is as big as a crazy vision as Donald Trump may even have, that you may think he's so outlandish. Steve Bannon is even more so outlandish. This guy makes Donald Trump look like a small-time thinker. Steve Bannon, grand visionary, okay? Steve Bannon, he doesn't have the skill sets that Donald Trump has. So that's why Steve is not the president Trump is. Okay, let's look at the other guy here too. Mike Pence. Okay, Mike Pence is the backup plan for Donald Trump. Okay, if he bites the dust, Pence is rolling in. And you know what's very interesting about Pence? He's not only an insider guy, a politician, someone who understands the system, who can explain things to Trump while he's still around. Mike Pence is a pretty squeaky clean guy, to my understanding. I've looked into him a lot. I can't find any creepy, weird background things beyond shocking you to death if you are a gay person. A reference to a shock therapy funding thing he's done before. But beyond that, I can't really hit him on too much else, I think. I mean, at least stuff that's goes beyond the political disagreements that people may have about the guy, okay? I don't think this guy's got bodies in the closet. And I think that's why Donald Trump selected him, that he doesn't have bodies in the closet. And the reason why you want that guy in place is because if he is the one who's going to be driving the car, so to speak, of this country, Donald Trump is going to want that guy to be as independent as possible. He doesn't want this guy to have so much dirt on him that's been pushed around on him or been led into him that everyone else who wants to control him and have a say in what he does is going to desire to have of him. Mike Pence is going to be pretty damn as hell independent. He is going to be a very light version of Trump. Mike Pence agrees with Trump on a lot of issues. I would say he's a lot more softer on all those issues. So he's palatable for a lot of people, especially at the time when he was just a vice president pick, okay? But most importantly, Mike Pence, as long as he listens to people like Steve Bannon, the real visionary here, the real go-getter, Mike Pence will navigate it just fine, okay? And the best part is, he is in the position, if he does ever become president, the country will be his oyster, okay? He's been such a good guy. He's been such a wonderful person. Well, I guess, relatively speaking, for a politician, that he's not going to have too many strings tied onto him and then be pulled around. Independence, big deal, big deal. If the president is always independent, no one's going to mess up his vision, his plan. No one gets to alter that. Another guy that Donald Trump already has on his team is this crazy, crazy general, Mad Dog Mattis, okay? This guy's insane. I don't want to be in a room alone with this person negotiating my terms with him, okay? I don't. This guy is scary. This was the general, guys, for context, that he sat in a room full of Iraqi generals, I think around when the first Iraq war was going on, and he basically said, "So help me God, just surrender or I will kill everyone in this room." This guy is pretty out there, okay? He has that terrifying persona, but that hides his real ace, which is his strategic mind. Okay, this guy is the guy you would want to go to if you want to talk about how to move political machinations all across this entire board we call the Earth, this risk board we call the Earth, okay? This guy could tell you about the crazy minuscule things about every single country in terms of political involvement, okay? He knows what's going on. He understands the grand strategy. He knows the overall plan, and he knows how to achieve it, which is the scary part, okay? This guy can wage unilateral warfare. He can do it with soldiers carrying guns, and he can also do it with politicians maneuvering people and assets in place to coerce them on all levels. That guy's scary. Just imagine if that was turned on our own country, that mind, okay? That's pretty bad. So that's just a synopsis, a snapshot of some of the people he's already got on his team. Now let's talk about Trump's vision, okay? His vision. His grandiose vision here. His idea is that he wants to build an ideology and a regime that's going to last for at least 100 years, and it's going to chart the next American century, okay? Even Steve Bannon said it himself. He's going to be basically, his people, his thing is going to be in power for the next 150 years or so, okay? And I don't think that this is an off-the-cuffs remark. I really don't. I think this is something Steve Bannon truly believes. This is something that he's determined to do. And I think Trump, if Steve Bannon is any indication, Trump is in the same exact line. Okay? He is trying to build a machine here, something that's going to exist long after he's gone. Okay? He is going to leave a pretty big mark, a giant letter T, where he stood. Okay? And you can already see the effects. He's already selected a judge. And when I say selected, I mean this guy, remember guys, in the election, he already basically had a list of judges. He had pre-positioned to release and everything, to go ahead and just automatically say, okay, this is the guy, when I am elected, this is the guy you're going to get as your Supreme Court judge, okay? Here's the list of people. He selected the judge, and the judge he selected is the most like the late Honorable Judge Scalia, okay? He put him in there as the, not only just because he's a little bit more conservative leaning, but because this is the most palatable decision the opposition has right now. This is the entry, the foot in the door, if you will, in the judiciary branch, he'll have at least 3 other selections, I think. There are a lot of judges on there. They're very old and not in the peak of health, okay? And I think he will probably have about 3 more selections on his lineup, assuming he serves a full 8 years. Okay, he'll definitely have at least 1 more during his current 4-year run. Okay? So he's going to determine what the judicial branch will basically look like for a very, very long time, and how they will rule and how they will determine things ought to work in this America. That's a big deal, especially if it happens sooner than later. Okay, so he's going to be able to ram through whatever executive order he wants, and he's going to be able to ram through whatever law that he wants passed. He just has to make a phone call, guys. That's all he has to do. And once then, he's got his A-team of at least 40% already of the seats right now, saying, "Hey, I can't help you there, Mac. I gotta do what the boss says." Okay. Here's another thing too that Trump has already done. I think this was done maybe in the first week of him becoming president. He did a hiring freeze of the entire federal government in the executive branch. No one gets hired now. No one, unless you're part of the defense of this nation. Unless you're going into defending our country, you're going to be a soldier, or you're going to be a top CIA guy, or whatever. You're probably not going to get hired. Okay, that's a big deal. Okay, so he basically had put a halt to the bureaucratic grind, because right now, majority of the bureaucracies right now that exist in our country on the federal level are more liberal-leaning. Okay, they by and large reflect Obama and his ideals and his policies, and you can make a good argument that the bureaucracies that had already existed kind of already felt that way even before Obama. What you've also will see in these bureaucracies is that they tend to carry over from one administration to the next. It's kind of like you got this guy named George. George has always worked in the EPA since Bush Sr.'s administration, okay? Then he goes into the Clinton administration. Then he goes into Bush Jr.'s administration. Then he's getting handed off in the Obama administration. The buck stops at the Donald Trump administration, because he's basically going to be asked at this point in a very light and soft way, are you with us or are you not with us? He's going to get asked that question in a very light way, and he's got to make a quick determination. I'm 100% on board. I will not obstruct anything that you're doing. I'm going to help you every step of the way and tell you what to do exactly. Or is he going to say, I can't help you there, Mac. I'm sorry. I'm not with you. Well, if he's not with them 100% of the way, he's leaving. A lot of people have already resigned of their own accord, and a lot more people are being more or less massaged to leave. He is looking to go ahead and get rid of a lot of these long-timers that have been around here that have helped chart the course of these agencies and these bureaucracies. And he's already laying down the law on a lot of these places here. I think he's actually gotten a new executive order not too long ago out that basically said if you're going to go ahead and put a new regulation in, you've got to get rid of at least 2 or more, okay, if you're going to put one in. And if you're going to make any budgetary changes, then you want more money, well, you've got to go ahead and find the money by basically getting rid of something else that you're already paying money to do right now. That's a big deal, okay? He's thinning everything out, and he's leaning it out to get rid of all the excess fat that more or less doesn't agree with him and his goal and his agenda. He's trying to carve it all out right now, and he's basically going to take this block of stone, this misshapen structure right now, and he's going to reshape it into something that he actually enjoys looking at. Maybe a giant letter T or an image of himself, I don't know. But that's what he's actively doing right now. It's pretty fascinating. And here's another thing, guys. If you recall in the campaign trail, when this guy was running to be president, he had a number of different campaign managers. I think he had 3 in total, 3 different ones, and he just cycled them out on a dime. There was no on-the-job training. There was no adapt and learn. There was just, oh, you can't do this? Let me get someone who can. Let me go ahead and get this person instead. Let me switch you out. Okay, you serve your purpose. You did this thing in this phase of the campaign. Now I'm going on to a new phase. I like you, dude. I'll put you down as a a consultant, okay? I got to get someone else right now. He has no issue doing that. And I see him being that guy during the next 4 years of his presidency. His cabinet's going to be a continuously evolving thing. And people are going to be there specifically just to serve a function for now. A lot of the people he's already got in the biggest corridors of the bureaucratic offices right now, the biggest leaders right now, they are more or less been given the goal, the initiative, to assemble the A-team of their own making in the likeness of Donald Trump's ideals. Okay, so right now, all the people that are heading the different agencies are basically being told, start weeding people out now, get rid of the disloyal scum, and only get the loyalists in. Only do that. So you figure a guy who's working overtime to overhaul an entire system and base it around his ideology, his entire way of thinking. Give it 5 months, dude, of this continual pace of just constant grinding, of moving, of positioning people, of changing the narrative, of transforming an entire agency overnight. Just one agency alone is maddening, but all of them, how many do we have? It was over 100, right? Oh my goodness, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of maneuvering. That's a lot of shift. And he's got the drive and the skill set and the talent to do this. And he's assembled already a fairly robust team. Like, the change that he's already made right now is probably a lot more radical than the change Obama had made in the first president, in his first term as being president from the Bush administration. Okay? That's how much change has basically occurred right now. Okay? There were a lot of people that were held over from the Bush administration. The cabinet selection definitely changed, but beyond the cabinet selection, not a lot of people in the bureaucracies changed. This time it's different. It's all changing. Everything. And with that said, guys, this is why an assassination is a moot point. Especially after 5 months of this stuff. No way. It's not going to matter. He's building a machine that's going to exist well beyond him. That's his entire intent. Well, anyways, guys, just another wonderful day on the Roy Durham Show. Check y'all later. Bye.